I've been affiliated with the Roundabout Theater since my husband was recruited by a nonprofit volunteer. He goes to his first board meeting and he comes home and he says, by the way, the theater's in bankruptcy. And I said, well, that makes no sense then. You're not going to join the board, are you? And he said, yes, I am, because I have so much time for the assistant director, Todd Hames. I know he will pull it out. So he stayed on the board. Todd, of course, did pull it out. And we were with the group up until the time my husband was transferred to London. And at that time, he left the board. But he said, I will always stay connected with the group. Fast forward again. We're in San Francisco, and he retires. And he said, we can move anywhere of the places we lived. We lived in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, San Francisco, and London. And we looked at each other and we said, we want to go back to New York. So we came to New York, and he rejoined the board and became the head of the operating committee, because my husband was a very smart and shrewd financial type. This is very critical. I'm getting to why I joined the board. My husband contracted cancer and passed away. When he did, before he did, he was very shrewd and said, Carol, he said, Todd will ask you to join the board. Don't do it. You don't really have the kind of expertise that they need going forward. It's now a dynamic, growing institution. You don't have that kind of expertise. And I said, oh, I truly know that. I truly know that. So Todd, of course, called me and asked me to join the board. And I said, no, thank you very much for asking, but no, thank you. Todd really didn't take no for an answer. He called my daughter, who had formerly babysat for him and his children, and she said, Dad told her not to join. So he called me back and he said, Carol, would you join the board for a year? We don't expect you to be on the operating committee. Let's see, but you have institutional memory about the institution. Why don't you come on and we'll see if we can find something for you to do. And what they found was the chairman's circle. And I love it. It's such a special group of people. And what it's all about is like-minded people and a family. The 5 and 10 year Chairman's Circle anniversaries were all invited to my house because I thought that would be fun. I see these people all as family, and I'd like to have them in my home. And everybody talked about why they'd come to the Roundabout and what the Roundabout meant to them. And I think we all were a little bit teary about it, because it was, not all of us came for the same reasons, but they're all fascinating characters and independent people. So it was a lot of fun. The one other thing that makes me feel very good about the Chairman's Circle is that I see the same people. It isn't just the 5 and 10 year people, but we have an incredible percentage of people who continue to give year after year, and you don't get a pin until you've done it for 5 years. And then after 10 years, you just have to do it because you want to do it. And the fact that so many people do it, and do it year after year, says something about, I think, 2 different things. One, it says something about the fact that they know what the Roundabout does is good, not just in terms of the theatrical performances, but also in terms of education and all of our outreach that means so much to the community as a whole. But on the other side is they get something out of it too. And I think what they get out of it is something really sincere, that the Roundabout does not dismiss their contribution as something that they should do. They really do go about saying you are important and important to our efforts. And then finally, it has Todd Hames. And Todd Hames, for me, is both a resource and an inspiration, because he does seem to have such a broad vision as well as a thoughtful and loving way with everybody. The woman called me and she said, I was at a Chairman's Circle dinner and I asked for your number because I really want to get to know you better. And I said, what did I say at the Chairman's Circle dinner? And she said, it wasn't what you said. It was the fact that someone came up and embraced you at the end of your speaking. And I think I was talking about the fact that theater provides us an outlet for all of our emotions. So sometimes it's funny, and sometimes it's scary, and sometimes it's sad. And I said that for me as a widow, one of the things that had helped was to go to the theater and sometimes laugh and sometimes be scared and sometimes cry, but it enabled me to keep in touch with who I was and what I was doing. And when I finished that at this Chairman's Circle dinner, some woman went, oh, we love you, and embraced me. And I said, that's the other great thing, is that connection with other like-minded people. You're sitting in a darkened theater and you're all by yourself, but you're not. And it's not like a movie because everybody in that space is alive. And there's risk and challenge at all times. So it's nice.